All right, so I just got done watching Totally Killer, a brand new movie streaming on Amazon Prime. Yes, Amazon Prime. And this movie features a lead character named Jamie. Now, Jamie, she has to go back 35 years into the past to stop a killer from going on this rampage. And he's also known as the Sweet 16 Killer. But this is all just to stop her mom from eventually dying in the future. Because after that 35-year hiatus, he eventually does return to kill off his final victim, being Jamie's mother. Now, can she actually go ahead and stop this Sweet 16 Killer who brutally stabs his victim 16 times?
Killing 3 people. I don't know about you, but when I think serial killer, I think like at least 6 people.
Thank you, Angie. We appreciate that. Let's give it up for Angie, who wishes there were more people killed. Okay.
Because this movie is a very weird movie. It's basically the cross between Scream, Back to the Future, and it has the production value of a Disney Channel original movie from the early 2000s, like Twitches or Halloween Town.
That was oddly specific.
This film gives those similar vibes, and I couldn't help but feel like kind of giddy about it. I kind of enjoyed that side of things. I thought this movie, it kind of knew what it was, but it also really does try to be its own thing, and then it also says, hey, we are also a lot of these things, and the movie outright blatantly says that at the same time. It strikes a very weird balance, and I do think like the meta humor, it's not totally lost on me, but it also is still, it's there, it's in your face, and it does kind of detract you from the overall movie. How did I like the movie? Well, the movie was just A-okay. I mean, not even A-okay. It was like right below A-okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. It was just like, yeah, this is a movie that exists in the Halloween time period, and I don't think I'm gonna be watching this any other time of the year, or even next Halloween, per se, because there are so many other great classics out there that supersede this one. But we're talking about Totally Killer here, so let's kind of dive into it. What were some of the takeaways from this movie? Well, Totally Killer, there wasn't really much to take away. In fact, this movie, it's kind of like a boulder. There's a lot, you have to like climb over this movie, and there's lots of boulders throughout this movie that you have to just climb over. It's hard to accept a lot of these things that are presented to you, the viewer, such as the main draw, which is time travel.
Why is it set to October 27th, 1987?
I just thought that if we could stop the Sweet 16 Killer from killing in the first place,
My mom would still be alive.
Time travel is definitely featured in this movie, and the way that they present it, it kind of feels like a Rick and Morty side quest. This feels like an offshoot of something else entirely that I do want to explore furthermore, outside of this horror film. Like, this girl who was in high school, nonetheless, Jamie's best friend, who only gets about 5 to 8 minutes of screen time, if I had to take a wild guess here. She builds a time machine. All she's missing is a metal conductor, but yet she gets everything else right. It's just, there's so many weird variables in this movie that just make you ponder and think, why did they make this decision the way they made it? Why couldn't they rewrite it or put some effort into it? Because a lot of the script writing here, it definitely feels like there just was not a lot of effort. This movie kind of feels like, oh hey, next month is Halloween, maybe we should go and film a movie, make a Halloween film, get everyone on board, maybe subscribe to Amazon Prime for this one movie that isn't actually too great. It's just, it exists. And that's kind of really how I felt about this overall film, is like, it just kind of was like a quick, snappy kind of thing. I mean, even the production value, there were a few camera shots that were totally warped, and I'm like, is the lens even on right, or are you using a GoPro in this scene? Could you not afford to use like a rental camera, or like were the props just not on set, or like there were some set issues, I believe, happening because the production, it's variable. It goes back and forth between the two, but I think that's a part of the reason why I view this movie like a Disney Channel original movie with a low production value. I thought it was kind of fun. I do like a lot of the actors in this movie. I thought they were very funny. I like the way that Jamie, this Gen Z portrayal, how she goes back in time to the 80s and she goes up to a school and she's like, hey, I know that, you know, like this is like a whole security issue, but I really need to know where blah, blah, blah is at this time. And the teacher or the faculty, they're just like, yeah, they're in gym class. And her responses, that happens quite a lot in this movie. Her response to those situations is just hilarious. Probably the main takeaway from this movie.
Here's your schedule.
Oh, okay. You don't need to verify anything.
What is this, Fort Knox? You're late for gym.
Can I get a different schedule? I'm not really a big gym girl.
The best parts of this movie are the interactions between those from the 80s and this Gen Z student. Yes, it was very simplistic with the writing, but the execution in those scenes specifically were just, wow. I kind of liked it. It was dumb, but like dumb fun, if that makes any sense. Another thing about this movie is a lot of the characters in here, they're very cartoonish, and they swap from being totally evil and menacing to being, oh, hey, I totally am responsive to the situation, and let's go ahead and get going and move the plot forward. And it's like, well, which one exactly are you? And even in those situations where they do want to move the plot forward and they do actually accept what's going on, they don't really move the plot forward that much at all. The plot only ever moves when the Sweet 16 killer ever arrives. And I don't think that's, the greatest plot device, because also, like, on top of all of that, the Sweet 16 killer, not featured prominently. I don't like the design. It's just very one note, very dumb, bland, and his motives also very dumb, bland. Once you come to find out who the killer, or maybe possibly even killers, actually are, you don't really understand their motives. It's just, oh, you're just a little sad or something. That it just doesn't equate to someone kind of like snapping and going out and killing a bunch of people. Like, you would think that something had to be done to make these things actually happen, to make it seem realistic, that somebody could actually go and become a killer, especially someone who's presented so possibly normally in the film. And it's just, the takeaways from this movie are that, like, yes, there's just a lot you have to climb over to not only get through this movie, to make it in your mind succeed on some kind of scale. And again, that's also one of the issues, the biggest issues with the movie. But it's also kind of like, it's kind of like a jungle gym. This movie is like a jungle gym. To get to the cool slide over there, you have to go through the rafters, you have to fall into the ball pit, you have to climb up that scary ladder, and then you get to that fun slide part. And I think the fun slide part of this movie, it's not really worth the journey to get there, but it does exist, it is there, and some people can take a lot of fun away from the slide moments of this movie, much like that of the Gen Z interactions with those of the 80s. And just a quick note that this YouTube video is sponsored by none other than me, myself, and I. We are very much a small YouTube channel. We are kind of working on that, making the channel grow, really finding our niche with talking about movies and being inspired by films. I myself, I'm a filmmaker, a video producer. I love editing, filming, animation, motion graphics, just the whole shebang. The whole filmmaking process just makes me tick and wonder and process a lot of different information all at once. And I just, to make a long story short, I just absolutely adore the whole process. And at one point in my life, I would love to be a filmmaker. So why not, for my 9 to 5 as a filmmaker, on top of that, make this YouTube channel where I'm discussing films and talking about it with you guys and seeing exactly what you guys like and what I can possibly learn if I ever make a movie one day myself. I have no idea. I think that'd be a pretty cool thing, but let me know in the comments. Do you think I can do it? I don't know. Hit subscribe down below if you believe in me. Otherwise, like the video if you guys enjoyed it, and also leave comments, because YouTube, the algorithm, it loves the engagement, and I also just personally like chatting with you guys about all these really cool movies that are coming out, and there's a lot of cool ones coming out at the end of 2023, so stay on the lookout for those, because we will be making more movie reviews to come. So overall, I believe it is pretty clear how I feel about this movie, but I want to raise the question to you guys. Have you seen the movie? And what do you guys think about it? And if you haven't seen it, what do you guys think overall about what I said? Is this something that you might be interested in? This does feel also kind of like a CW show. It does have, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting the actor's name, but she played Sabrina in the new Teenage Witch movies, or Netflix series, and I do like her as an actor. I think that she does a really good job with what she's given here. It's just kind of there, kind of bland. She doesn't phone it in or anything like that, but you can definitely tell that there could be a lot more improvements, especially maybe on the director side of things, and especially more so on the writer side of things. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this movie is one that you can definitely skip out this Halloween season. Go ahead and check out movies like Talk to Me. That was probably my favorite horror film so far of the year. There's lots of other good ones. Evil Dead 2023, that one was actually pretty good too. I liked the story, I liked the characters. There's also a lot of other Halloween movies out there for you guys to enjoy. There's probably even more coming out later this month, if not, you know, the coming months. I know there's a Thanksgiving movie that doesn't really look too appealing to me. But overall, yeah, no, this movie just is not for me. I don't think it's gonna be for a lot of audiences out there. Totally one that you can skip, but also if you guys just wanna turn on something in the background this Halloween and just listen in and catch up on some things, then go ahead and check out Totally Killer if it's kind of up your alley. My name is Austin, and again, if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment. All the engagement, again, does help. And if you guys want to watch some more content, there will be videos posted up on the screen somewhere for you to click and watch. The watch time definitely helps out with the channel. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Thanks guys for watching my review on Totally Killer. My name's Austin, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.